Hello everyone, welcome to your English class. This is Neelam Bajaj and today we are taking a poem, An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum from the book Flamingo of class 12th. Before coming to the poem, we will discuss first about the title of the poem and then the poet. The title is An Elementary School, a primary school classroom in a slum area. You very well know what is a slum area, where the poor people live in unhygienic conditions. So, this poem is a description about a classroom in a slum area. What are the conditions in that classroom of the area and the children studying there. First, we will know about the poet. The poet's name is Stephen Spender. He was an English poet and an essayist. He left University College, Oxford, without taking a degree and went to Berlin in 1930. Spender took a keen interest in politics and declared himself to be a socialist and pacifist. Books by Spender include poems of dedication, The Edge of Being, The Creative Element, The Struggle of the Modern, and an autobiography, World Within World. In an elementary school classroom in a slum, he has concentrated on themes of social injustice and class inequality. So, before coming to the text, we are taking a short and brief description of the poem, what it says. In this poem, Spender depicts the injustice which prevails in society. He talks about social injustice and class inequalities, denial of opportunities to slum dwellers, some people, and also expresses his thoughts on the widening gap, increasing gap between the rich and the poor. He somewhere or the other seems to be hitting hard, attacking at the capitalist economy, which helps the rich to get richer and poor poorer. So, this is the introduction of the poem. Now we are coming to the text part. Before text, there is a question for you. Have you ever visited or seen an elementary school in a slum? What does it look like? So, here is the description of that class, how it looks like. Far, far from gusty waves, these children's faces, like rootless weeds, the hair torn round their pallor. So, in first two lines, we see how the children of the classroom look. Far, far from gusty waves. Gusty waves, energetic vibes. These children are far away from the energy and their faces are compared to rootless weeds, unwanted plants grown in a garden which we take out. So, these children are compared to the unwanted plants as they are the unwanted people of the society. The hair torn round their pallor. Pallor is pale face and their hair are uncombed, untidy, scattering around their pale face. The tall girl with her weighed down head. There is a tall girl who is very malnourished, that her head is looking like weighing down. The paper seeming boy. There is a boy with rat's eyes. He is thin like paper. And why his eyes are compared to rat's eyes? As rat looks for food everywhere, same way this boy is looking also malnourished and hungry. The stunted, unlucky hair of twisted bones reciting a father's gnarled disease his lesson. Here, the third boy is described by the poet, the stunted, unlucky hair of twisted bones. The third boy, has a genetical disease carried from his father of twisted bones. He is very weak and he has a gnarled disease. In this disease, the bones are twisted and he is reciting his lesson from his desk. At back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young. And at the back of this class is very dim. There is no sufficient light present in the class and there is a boy you can see very small sitting there on the last bench of the classroom. He is looking very sweet and young, and his eyes live in a dream. He is physically present in the class, but he is mentally somewhere else. He is looking outside to a squirrel who is playing. So his eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game in tree room other than this. So his concentration is somewhere else from the classroom. Now I will read the paragraph again, then I'll give you a brief description of this paragraph. Far, far from gusty waves, these children's faces, like rootless weeds, the hair torn round their pallor, the tall girl with her weighed down head, the paper seeming boy with rat's eyes, the stunted whose growth is stopped. Stunted means growth is stopped. Unlucky hair, unlucky successor of twisted bones, reciting a father's gnarled disease, his lesson from his desk at back of the dim class. One unnoted, sweet and young, his eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game in tree room other than this. So this is the text part of the poem. Now we are coming to the description of this paragraph. In the first stanza, Spender describes the miserable condition of the children of slum area. The faces of the children are unlike the usual children of the schools. They are different from the usual children of the schools. The usual children of the school look energetic, exuberant, but these children are like rootless weeds, withered and worn out. They are unclean and untidy as they are malnourished. They don't get sufficient food to eat every day. They are sick and hungry. Just as weeds are not wanted in the garden, so are these children of the slum, unwanted in the society. They have pale faces, their hair is uncombed. A tall, slim girl has her head bowed down as though she is exhausted, tired physically because of malnutrition and emotionally because of poverty. So mentally and physically both ways she is looking exhausted and tired and depressed. The other students of the class are also in the same situation. There is a boy who is as thin as paper, again because of malnutrition and lack of civic amenities, the basic facilities. His eyes are like that of a rat searching for food and betterment. Another child in the class who is a victim of genetic disorder has twisted bones and stunted growth, stopped growth. He has inherited this very disastrous disease from his father and recites his lesson from his desk in a very weak voice. In one corner of this poorly lit and ill equipped class is a sweet, unnoticed young child lost in the world of his dreams. The dull and monotonous classroom does not interest him, and hence his mind deviates towards the squirrel in her tree room. He too dreams of fun and frolic in that open space where squirrel is playing. So in this paragraph you have seen what is the condition of the children in slum areas. In the next part of the chapter we will come to know about the further situations of these slum children. Till then, thank you.